Welcome back to the historic F1 series, and we are well into the serious period of this season, as we only have 4 races left and every point is crucial from here on out. We are here at Aintree for the first time, and you may be forgiven for thinking this is a horse racing circuit. Whilst it is still used for horse racing, including the famous Grand National, once upon a time it was used for motor racing as well, and it is here which hosts today's race. Today, part of the circuit is still used for club racing events, but the glory days of Grand Prix racing is all over at Aintree. Last week's French Grand Prix saw a massive shake-up in the grid after a huge first corner pile-up, which saw several drivers retiring from the race, so could we see more drama here at Aintree today? It's up to the drivers to determine that, and it won't be easy for them, as the circuit may look easy on paper, but driving it is a completely different story, and mistakes are costly here. On the grid, however, it is the German of Sebastian Vettel who starts on pole today after picking up only his second F1 victory last week in France, and he has had a fantastic opportunity to close the gap on the top of the table as he hunts down his first championship. However, Vettel has a significant challengers right next to him, as defending champion Emerson Fittipaldi had a brilliant drive last week and starts P2 today, with Alberto Ascari starting in P3. There are plenty of Brits on the grid, but the highest out of all of them is Jenson Button, who has enjoyed a brilliant season so far and starts P4. The championship leader Jack Palmer made a couple of mistakes last week and as a result starts P5, with Valtteri Bottas just behind him in P6. Ayrton Senna has had a quiet season so far and starts just outside the points in P7. The man who still holds the lap record here is Jim Clark, and he starts P10. Jackie Stewart's form has dropped off since Monaco, and this is reflective in his starting position, and he starts at P13 just in front of Fangio. Lewis Hamilton has had 2 retirements so far this season, which lands him in danger of being removed from the grid for next season, so it's crucial that he can score points in the next few races, and he starts P15 today. The rear of the field is made up of Niki Lauda and Francois Sever. Aintree is almost ready for today's Grand Prix, and we have 10 laps to complete, with each lap consisting of 8 tight corners over 3 miles. Could we see another twist to this tale this season? Anything can happen in the next half hour. So let's head to the grid for the 1957 British Grand Prix. Welcome to Aintree. Yeah, it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back recording. It's been a good week since I was last here. And it's been a bit of a rough ride, I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty difficult week for me personally. I will talk about it at another time, not today. I'm gonna try and make this as happy and jolly as possible. But you know how I used to do the Targa Florio, well I still do, I just haven't done one in a while. And I'll just, drive the cars, just chat with you. I'm looking at doing one of those, but not on the set course, using a different game. I could just chat to you and, talk about, myself and other things going around in the motor racing world and all this, that, and the other. Like I used to with the Targa Florio before it became really hard because of how fast the cars are. So I will talk about it at some point. But just not today. Today is a big day. It's the British Grand Prix. The highlights for me for the season. This is a race, my race, where I want to really, win. Because there's a lot at stake here. Since it's the British Grand Prix, my home race. I've got Button next to me, who's also eager. Well, he might be there actually. I think it's you. Your Button. That he's as eager to win the race as I am. And we got starting in 5th because we had a difficult race last time at France. It's also difficult here. There's a lot of places where it looks easy, but if you get it wrong, it really punishes you, including the sort of medium to fast right-hander before the long straight. If you get that wrong, you go horse racing. It takes you off into that part of the circuit, and it's really hard to get back out of. So you've got to be aware. So there's a lot at stake, and the 3 drivers in front of me are also as eager to win the championship as I am. We've got Sebastian Vettel on the left in the blue car over there. He just won his second ever F1 victory at Rouen last week. Emerson Fittipaldi, defending champion, he's in the red car, my teammate, and he's right in front of me. He's had a difficult season, but he's seemingly back. And since he's right in the middle, he has a good chance of actually, you know, winning this race. And that's Alberto Ascari, my rival from the first season of doing this. He starts P3, and the rest of the grid behind me. It's a bit of a gloomy day here at Aintree, and yeah, but to be honest, I'm just glad to be recording again. I've missed it, but to be honest, I simply could not, you know, do any recording. I was not in a good place. But anyway, Aintree, the British Grand Prix. Can you hear that? That is the national anthem. We've got 10 laps, and that national anthem normally means there's the race is about to begin. And 10 laps on this forgotten circuit. It truly is a forgotten circuit. No one really knows it's here or existed or whatever. And yeah, let's get on with this. Right, lights are about to go here at Aintree. British Grand Prix 1957 is go. All get a pretty similar start, but I dropped a position. That's pretty standard for this car for some reason. My starts haven't been great this year. Gonna drop down to third for this corner. My steering feels a bit weird. I don't know why. I did have to unplug it just before recording because the microphone just wasn't detecting, so I changed the ports. So hopefully it doesn't feel too strange. It does feel very loose though. It doesn't feel like I would normally be able to, but hopefully I can live with it. I'll have to look after the race. I'm not going to look at it now because well, I'm in the race. We are. God, this is very weird. I don't know what's happened to my steering. Maybe it's just reset itself. A few drivers going off there, and we managed to recover to P5. This is where we started, of course. It's so bumpy here, so bumpy. I think it's one of the bumpiest tracks on my inventory list. It is really bumpy, and it's enough to really send you off, and if you're not expecting it. See what I mean? This bumpiness. Nearly got it wrong there. We're just behind Button now. I'm not too sure who's in the lead. It's Vettel, I think. Oh, very close there for contact. This is the long straight. Very quick, very fast. And this is Aintree. This is almost a lap now. Jesus, I didn't expect them to be so slow. In practice, I was quite literally sending it into that little kink there. But I didn't expect them to be so slow. And that's Button going off slightly. No one's retired yet. It was side by side with Button. This car is really hard to control. I don't know really what's happened with my steering. I think it's just kind of reset itself. So all my preferences are just lost. So this car's really hard to control. Not as bad as the Auto Union, but we're now in P4. So we're making our way up the grid. And we've got our wonderful rival, Emerson Fittipaldi, just in front. As we move on to lap 2 now. Button's still behind me. I think he's thinking about making a move on me, but I'm going to try and close that door, make sure he doesn't get past me. Oh god. And we've gone off into what is now a golf course. Trying to make sure I get onto the track safely. We lost a couple of positions as well. Not good. Not good. I didn't expect them to be so slow, so I had to take evasive action and move to the left. Well, the right, I mean. Oh well, there's still a long way to go of this race. Oh, come on. Just about kept that on, but that's going to cost me. These bumps are really... Well, it's really messing me up. And that looks to be Fittipaldi making a move on Ascari in the distance, but we need to work on getting back up there. God, this car, what is wrong with it? That's what I mean. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you so slow through there? Am I so out of touch? Is it me? Am I going too fast? But it's a race. Going too fast doesn't exist. Oh, come on. That's Valtteri Bottas with the fastest lap. It's been a bit of a struggle. Hamilton now has the fastest lap. It's been a bit of a struggle for me so far. Need to start finding my feet. I'm in P6 still. There's Bottas and Fittipaldi in front. So blue cars here from the modern team. So that's Bottas, Button and Vettel. Don't know the situation behind me. I don't know really what's going on. I haven't really been looking. Fangio's last, I can see that. Hamilton's 12th. So he's made a big improvement. Maybe that threat of being removed from the grid is really getting into his head. But if he doesn't score any points, he's not going to be here next season. I'm sure there's plenty of Hamilton fans watching right now and doesn't want that to happen. There's a white car behind me. I've just noticed in my mirrors. Who's that? It's Damon Hill. Now Senna's having an appalling race. He's in P11. Not going well for him. Take it gently and off throttle now. Get a good exit out of here. Change up to 4th. Crikey, why are you going so slow? Multiple times now. Well, I'm going to have to brake earlier because these guys are going to go really slow into the kink. Bottas locks up as well, so it's a good job I didn't completely send it into that corner. It's quite hard to overtake. I'm not really finding much opportunity to get past him as Fittipaldi runs wide again. It's not going to rain, by the way. It might look like it's going to rain, but the weather forecast from this race, overcast and dry. Oh, I got too close to that wall there. Okay, what can I do? Damon Hill's still behind me, and Graham Hill's just behind him. Senna's moved back up to 9th, so he might be on his way back. Okay. So I've got to be so careful here not to mess up any kind of mistake and you're off. And that's Jenson Button, who's now in 2nd and challenging Sebastian Vettel. Now, this year, Jenson Button scored his first points and now can be in for his first win. But Vettel will be just as eager to stay in the lead. He wants to catch up to me at the top. Right, remember, Bottas is going to be slow here. So bumpy. Unbelievable, but yeah, I kind of expect it to be quite bumpy here. Just got inside. Oh, double overtake, look at that. Alright, Fittipaldi. Behold. Who's going to be the last to break? Me. Well done. That worked a lot better than I expected. How to overtake in 1957. Just send it and hope that no one dies. We're back into P2 in the stretch from, and look at that fast slap as well. Right from the start of that straight, we've gone from P6 to P2 by the end of it. Knew you were going to do that. So, sorry Jensen, but you had your fun. Oh, I really did not expect that to happen. That was that really was unexpected. Something on my left. What is it? It's a cable of some sorts. I can just feel something on my left head. Wide that curb slightly. You don't want to go, you know, attacking it too much because obviously probably sends you rolling upside down. But Aintree is interesting. It can be fun to race here on sim, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's quite boring, but so far it's been okay. My car just bouncing around. Nearly made a mistake there. Alright, here we go. Another fight to the kink. I'm not getting any slipstream at all. I'm gonna back off, I don't know. Caused an accident. Ooh. Can we take the lead? No, we can't. Not yet, at least. Because ideally, I would like to be on pole for the next race, which is at the Nürburgring. And we all know what happened last year. I crashed out in the second lap in heartbreaking circumstances. Hopefully, that doesn't happen again. Lap 6 now of 10. Vettel still leads, Palmer in second, me. Button in third, Fittipaldi in fourth, Bottas in fifth. No one's crashed, and there's no retirements of sorts yet. There might have been a couple of accidents, but none that I've seen. So yeah, pretty standard race so far. But anything can happen. Whoa. There's a bit of a risk, I know. Looking to my left whilst going through a corner. Button's still behind me. I can see him in my mirrors now, which is a little bit alarming. Has he picked up the pace a little bit? Possibly. To be fair, I've had a bit of a messy lap. You can see the horse racing track just on our left here. So the little jumps that horses do on a lap. Now, I've watched the Grand National a few times. Actually put bets on horses. And I won it. I won a bet in 2012 when the horse literally won by about an inch over the line. It was quite impressive actually. But my granddad, he was a jockey. And I don't know what jockey means. It's basically the horse rider, horse driver, whatever you call it. Ooh, and a fairly good one. But he never, I don't think he ever went professional. But yeah, he was a jockey after the war. And yeah, he loved horse racing. So I do have some sort of form of racing in my family. But just on, but not the motor kind. Well, actually, my uncle was involved in motor racing. He actually had a Formula 3 license. I think in the 80s. I think it might have been. And he actually has tested a Benetton B197, and he was hang on, it's a battle here. We've taken the lead from Sebastian Vettel. There he is in my mirrors. Let's try and cut him off there. Close that door. Establish dominance. And there we go. We've taken the lead here at Aintree. Finally. That's how you do it, boys and girls. This car is still incredibly hard to control for some reason. I really don't know why. But I suspect, yeah, it's just sort of reset itself after unplugging it a minute ago. So I'm really having to fight it just to keep it in a straight line. As you just noticed, I nearly went and did a bit of horse racing myself. See, that's how I take the kink. So I know I'm a lot faster than the other drivers. So let's exploit that. I mean, they're nowhere to be seen now. And we've got 2 laps left of this British Grand Prix. It's been a bit difficult, but what, 2:13, bloody hell. Oh, and that's Bottas out of the race. He's at a coming together with someone, presumably. I'm not too sure. Yep, that's the first retirement today. Bottas. So Jackie Stewart is now in 5th. And we were saying just before the race he's had a poor run of form since Monaco, and now he's back into the points. So that's good to see. We've actually got so many drivers who still haven't scored points this season. To be fair, it's a much shorter season than we're used to. It's gone so quick as well. I think after this we've only got 3 more races, and then the season's over. Don't worry though, there'll be another one. There'll be season 4. But yeah, like I was saying, my uncle was a steward at Brands Hatch for a long time. I think he only recently stopped. But yeah, he's driven Formula 1 cars. And he had literally no influence on my life. Even now, as I've only recently got into motor racing, he still doesn't really care. I've asked him, hey, can you get me in here? Can you get me there? Can you get me here? He just doesn't want to know. He's not a nasty guy, but he's just very secluded, keeps to himself a lot. I do like the straight. It's so flat, you go so fast with all these estates. Wait, look. Oh. Really let the rear go then. Felt good. I can't even see them anymore. 11 seconds in the lead now. And there's Bottas in the pit lane over there. Out. Be interested to see what happened to him. Because there were skid marks just before the straight, so I wonder if it was there where it happened. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Benetton B197 that he tested. Well, it might have actually been the 194. It was definitely a mid to late 90s Benetton that he drove. I don't know. Here's a photo. There you go, I'm sure you won't mind. Crikey, nearly went wrong there. But I've actually got testing going on in the background. Obviously you can't hear it because I've muted it for this recording, but F1 is back. It feels so good. I mean, it is boring to watch, but it's good for just putting on in the background, just letting it happen. But what are your predictions for F1 this year? I mean, I think the Red Bull would still be the fastest car, but I'm just hoping for more of a fight. Last year, it had its moments, but just, you know, no one else was really close, which was a shame to see. But imagine if we have like a three-way title fight where we have Red Bull, Ferrari, oh god, and Mercedes, all competing for that title. How cool would that be? It's unlikely, but I mean, because Mercedes doesn't look great at the moment. It's only Red Bull and Ferrari that have really had a good test. McLaren look all over the place. It's a shame, real big shame. As we go on to the final lap now. But yeah, McLaren, they just look all over the place. But Aston Martin, I don't want to say anything too early, but they look good. You know, they kind of look good. I mean, in a second, I'll just lift my head up to see where Fernando's or Felipe's time is as we get onto the straight. Oh no, they've gone to little screens. Okay, 5th. Crikey. Should we just stop doing that? But yeah, I think it's Alonso with the 5th fastest time this afternoon. So, they're looking decent, you know, and the only two teams in front of them, or him, should I say, is Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari. So, could we, maybe? Even Williams looked to be okay, better, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward to this season? I'm very much looking forward to the Endurance Championship as well. That looks to be quite good. I think that starts next month at Sebring. Looking forward to seeing the Porsche. It didn't do too well at Daytona, so I'm sure they'll improve and battle Ferrari to the end. Oh. Close. Right, let's focus on now on the straight for the last time here at Aintree. There's some other cars over there, so that's how far in the lead we are. And the British Grand Prix. I didn't win it last year. Last year was a struggle in torrential rain. I did make a very nice overtake though. But here in Aintree, to return to the top of the table, the British Grand Prix 1957 is won once again. Yes, that was a good race. That was a very good race. P1. Come on. Victory in the bag. That was a solid victory. I mean, a couple of little incidents, but overall it was good. You know, it was nothing too shabby. So let's have a look, because even I don't really know. I haven't had the chance to look, but let's have a look and see what the results are and see what they mean for the championship. Let's go. Well, I think that was quite a good race actually. That was a lot better than I was expecting. The first half of that race, it was a little bit tricky. You know, I was trying to get past those drivers, but I think I was quite lucky that everything came into place on that particular lap where I just overtook everyone on the back straight. So I was quite lucky, but there we are, top. We won here at Aintree with the fastest lap as well, so I'll get an extra point. But Jenson Button finished P2. That's really good for him. His first ever historic F1 Series podium, and where else to do it at the British Grand Prix. Well done to him. And Emerson Fittipaldi also secured another podium in his little collection, finishing P3 here. But Vettel had a disappointing race. He finished P4, makes his task at the German Grand Prix next week even harder. And yes, P4 for Vettel, and Jackie Stewart as well, making it up and finished P5 as he was the last points finisher today, and fully deserved. I think he's had a tricky season, but yeah, good to see him up there. Senna also missed out on points just by a hair's width, and the Sky as well, disappointing for him. He finishes P7. And if we look further down, no other real surprises. Hamilton hasn't improved. He finished P15, with the other at-risk driver being Michael Schumacher. He finished P16, and the overretirement there, Valtteri Bottas, and all the debut drivers now retired. Let's go and have a look at the So let's go and have a look at the championship standings then. So Jack Palmer retains his lead at the top with 39 points now. He's getting even harder to catch up from the other drivers. So he could potentially, with this points haul, win the championship at Feldberg. But anything can happen from now on. We've got 3 races left. And Sebastian Vettel will have to improve if he is to challenge Jack towards the end of the season. Emerson Fittipaldi also moves up to 3rd now in the championship, 16 points, so it's a little bit away from Vettel, but he still has a chance of securing 2nd with Alberto Ascari moving down to 4th. But Jenson Button now moves up to 5th in the championship with 9 points to his name and dropping everyone else down, and obviously Jackie Stewart secured a couple of points there, and he stays in 8th, whilst the rest of the drivers below Jackie Stewart still have not scored any points. So the end of season stats are going to look very interesting as to who will go down alongside Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. Of course, those 2 drivers also can still secure their survival. I'm not saying they're going down, but they are 2 drivers very much at risk now. And the rest of the grid still yet to score points. There's 3 races to do so. So that concludes the British Grand Prix here at Aintree. I mean, nothing much happened. That was quite a solid race, and a solid race to win. Probably one of my cleaner attempts to win a race, especially considering France last week. But we move on then to the German Grand Prix next week at the ferocious Nürburgring. And I'm still haunted by the events of what happened in our previous season, where I made a massive mistake which cost me pretty much the entire season. I think my season just ended from that point on, so I'm still haunted for that. Hopefully put enough practice where that won't happen again. But yeah, next weekend tune in at 5 o'clock on Sunday for the German Grand Prix, a race where I'm sure is going to be just as eventful as last season, so we have to see what happens there. We have 2 more races after that at Feldberg and Monza. So yes, the season is approaching its end, but we're still yet to find our world champion. So yes, I'm glad I'm back. So if you enjoyed, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out, helps the channel out and this particular video that you're watching. And leave a comment as well what you think of this race. And check out some of the other historic F1 series videos and also my other videos. And next week I'll be returning to my normal schedule, and I've got a video planned in my head, which I really want to do, and I hope you guys will enjoy the end product of that. So until then, take care out there, guys. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, or have a good Monday. So this is going to be going out Sunday afternoon, but yeah, have a great Monday, and I'll see you next time. See you later.